quickly talk about technology, but more importantly, I want to talk a little bit about mindset. And if the mindset is in the right place, then the technology will have unlimitless potential. You know, we've talked a lot about technology and things that technology can do, and we've talked about women empowerment and the opportunity with technology, but have we ever stopped to actually ask ourselves what empowerment actually means and what role empowerment has in the context of technology? So the definition in terms of the business context when you talk about empowerment is it's defined as sharing of information, investment in power to take initiative, make decisions, solve problems, and improve performance. So when we talk about women's empowerment, we make the assumption that all those things are going to happen. But when we talk about smart technology, what do we mean when we talk about smart? Because smart by itself means absolutely nothing. Smart has a codependence. And that codependence, when you talk about technology, you really have to set it in context. So in today's seminar, I hope that you have a couple of takeaways. First of all, we've had so many wonderful speakers, but the reality is this ICT revolution is poised to make a huge impact. But probably the most important impact is the impact on development and the impact of a change in the world, and the world that we would like to see, and the world that women really can impact in terms of what the future is going to look like. The second takeaway is that it used to be that you had to have a technical background to understand technology, but right now, with everything being focused on user-centered design, the more diverse your experience, the more diverse your education, the better impact that you have in terms of really bringing value into technology. And then lastly, which is the most important, is the 21st century traits of what is needed to actually succeed in the global marketplace is drastically changing. Those feminine traits are inherent for most women, and they're going to be significant in an interconnected, interdependent, collaborative world. There are perfect examples with M-Pesa in Kenya, which has disrupted and revolutionized the banking system by allowing those with the bottom of the pyramid to actually have access to mobile money in rural areas. But an interesting concept that had just started up from a woman in the US, she's a fourth generation street vendor. And she was the first in her generation of family to go to college. And when she graduated, she got a bachelor's degree in banking and finance. All that she had in terms of her frame of reference was 4 generations of street vendors. So she developed an app, and the app is how she gets buyers throughout the world to access street vendors throughout the world, bringing the street vendors into the supply chain. Revolutionary. She's being looked at by IBM. She's been on, you may know some of the shows that we have in the US where you do pitches and then you get funding. She's had lots of people looking at her only because of one simple thing. Because the buyers and the sellers are untapped. This market is evident in Africa, Asia, Europe, all over the world. In most of the research that was done, we actually found that 84% of women who have started tech companies do not have a tech background. And the perspective that they had in terms of their business background or science background or philosophy background has also been instrumental in their ability to develop what is the user need in terms of technology. But the part that I really want us to take a little time on is the traits, the mindset traits, and how it is that women now, depending on how they're positioned, it's the optimal time for those traits to actually rise to fruition. There was a lot of assumptions about what traits were needed in terms of success. But we've found that there are 2 limiting factors usually when it comes to women in business. The first has been the mindset that women never thought that they could think big. With technology now as an enabler, that is no longer the case. And the second was unconscious bias, whereas in a lot of cultures or in a lot of industries, there was never any assumptions that women could even play the game. Those walls are coming down. I want to share with you a little talk from John Gerzema about the Athena doctrine. And basically, what he's saying is everything that we thought about and everything that you thought that you knew in the 21st century, all of those things are going to change. And it is an empowering possibility for women. So in closing, it's good to have technology, and it's good to be enabled, and it's good to be smart. And if the traits that are going to be the traits that are going to change the world are the feminine traits that could be both for masculine, for men or for women, then is this the right time to define and develop the world that we want to see? Is this the opportunity for us to seize and change the world for the better? Is this the opportunity that we have to be able to change the bottom of the pyramid and level the playing field? I challenge you all to gather everything that we've learned today about technology, use that in your businesses, but at the same time to understand that the feminine traits of the 21st century are world-changing traits. And together, I think that if we're fearless, we can see the world that we all dream of. Thank you.